The Steelers make multiple moves just days after the home opener against the Jets. And in week 2, we open against the Seattle Seahawks. And these roster moves could affect how we play in that game. My name is Tamir Jean-Charles. This is Steelers Digest. Let's hit right into it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please get subscribed to the channel. We've got more content coming out. How you doing, Pittsburgh fans? We've got roster updates. We've got injury updates just after our game against the Jets. Usually you want to come out of week 1 unscathed. That has not been the case with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That has not been the case with a lot of teams in the league. And as we head into our home opener on Sunday at 1 o'clock at Acrisure Stadium against Mike McDaniel's Seattle Seahawks, who suffered a very, very, very tough loss against Brock Purdy and the 49ers at home. They'll be traveling down for their first away game of the season. Now, Coach Tomlin, in our first practice, ruled Derek Harmon out. I will have some more Derek Harmon information later in the video. He's still out with that MCL, I think it was MCL sprain as well. Deshaun Elliott and Malik Harrison are all out with the same exact injury. Something to go over that I touched on last video is that Joey Porter Jr. had a hamstring injury against the Jets. He went off and didn't come back into the game at all. That's what forced Ramsey to play a little bit of outside corner, which they don't really want him to do. You know, seeing that we have Porter and Slay, you know, he'll be nickel, and then obviously safety and stuff like that. And I think this was the first time in his career that he's played all positions in the secondary in week 1. So already showing that versatility from Jalen Ramsey. It's what we brought him in for, that versatility, that physicality. You know, got that hard nose. He's got the character of your typical Pittsburgh Steelers player. But he played a bit of outside. Brandon Echols came in and played a bit of the slot, and then we ran with Slay, Echols, and Ramsey as our corners. Nick Herbig, who did not play on Sunday against the Jets, he did not open the season, will play against the Seahawks, so this will be his home opener. We ran with Highsmith and Watt as our edge rushers and didn't really rotate a lot, so he'll get a chance to come in and have some shine. Just more housekeeping things. This is really just a housekeeping video. More housekeeping things. Obviously, I went over Jabril Peppers signing that 1-year deal. And with these corner issues that we are having, and Joey Porter having that tightness in his hamstring, he will play. But we have activated James Pierre from the practice squad, which I'm very happy about. I know a lot of people would probably replace Pierre with Beanie Bishop. I think he was top 2 or top 3 on the team last year in interceptions as a UDFA, which is insane. Our quarterback, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, he picked him off twice last year when we played the Jets in Pittsburgh. So he is now a full-time player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, not on the practice squad. Beanie Bishop is still on the practice squad. James Pierre has been elevated as another depth piece. And QB Logan Woodside has been elevated to the practice squad. He played a lot in preseason, and that reason is because Skylar Thompson is now on IR. So Will Howard's on IR with that pinky dislocation. He should be going through that, going through his rehabilitation really well at this point of the season, going into week 2. I know IR is 4 weeks minimum, but should be progressing well because he got the injury. I think week 2 of preseason, so he should be going fine in his timeline of making it back. So Skylar Thompson is now there. So we have 2 quarterbacks on the roster now. Obviously, Logan Woodside is that third emergency QB, but we have Aaron Rodgers, obviously Mason Rudolph, and now Logan Woodside, and Malik Harrison has been placed on IR. So a lot of housekeeping things, a lot of pieces shuffled and moved around already, and we're just in week 2 of a 17-week season, and I think we have a week 5 bye, so could get some guys back if any injuries linger longer than they should. But like I said, here's the full report. Porter did not practice with that hamstring injury. They shut him down against the Jets because, they didn't want him to overexert himself, which is fine. Herbig, you could see at a limited practice. Obviously, Elliott Harmon, offensive tackle Calvin Anderson did not practice, and then Watt and Heyward had vet days. But something I wanted to talk about in addition to these housekeeping things is the D line, and we don't want to be reactive. But I know Keanu Benton's season last year raised a few eyebrows. He had a lot of mixed reviews, whether it was good, whether it was a bad season. Some people said he had a bad season. And then you open up week 1 against the Jets, and we get completely ran over. Not by Braylon Allen, to be fair. When he came in, he didn't really do well. But Breece Hall completely killed us, and all those runs were away from T.J. Watt. I think the ones that did go T.J. Watt's direction, were either 0 to 5 yard gains or TFL. So obviously people aren't going to run to TJ Watt's one of the best run defender edge rushers in the league. So that means they're probably just going to choose to run it down the middle, or try Alex Highsmith or Nick Herbig if he subbed in at that point. The reason why I bring all this up is Derek Harmon could be back faster than we thought. Originally he was out for a month. And, they were going to put him on IR. But I don't know. To be on IR, you have to be out for 4 weeks. So I'm really not sure if they can take him off before week 4. I have to go back and check that. But he's not going to play, obviously, against Seattle. He could be ready for New England. If not, be ready to travel to Ireland and play the Minnesota Vikings overseas. But like I said, Benton's got a lot of work to do to keep his spot, right? So we don't know what it's going to be in terms of, we've got Cam Heyward, and then we've got Derek Harmon, and then we've got Benton. Y.A. Black is said to be playing more snaps against the Seahawks this weekend. So there's a lot of competition there. A lot of comment. I know I brushed up on it just a little bit in the last video, but I really want to drive home the point now that he's really got to step it up. And I know Cam Heyward defended him after his week 1 game, and he said, he's going to be a very good player in this league. And I think that's what all Yins fans are hoping, is that he can step into that role, because if not, we're fine with having Cam Heyward as our rush D end, having Harmon at the nose, or having Y.A. Black at the nose, Harmon as another rush D end, and swapping that in with guys like Loudermilk, stuff like that. So I know he doesn't want to lose his position as a starter on this team, but he's going to have to pick it up. He's definitely going to have to pick it up. But Pittsburgh faithful, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about all the injuries. Is preseason a factor in this? Are you worried about Keanu Benton's performance in week 1, how the Jets ran the ball on us? Because, we've got Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker this weekend, and that's not going to be much easier. But the Seahawks are a team that do air the ball out a lot, with new quarterback Sam Darnold. And obviously they got Jackson Smith and Jigba over there. So, as well as Cooper Kupp. So we'll see what happens on Sunday in our home opener. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, Yins, I'll see you.